Okay, there we go. All right. So, yeah, I just hope that I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to connect her with Kyle. Kyle's going to definitely have a lot to say. He's going to be upset with the fact that most of his childhood she wasn't there,
Hmm.
and you chose to walk away. And I know she's probably going to say, I had to get my life together. People were coming after me, blah, 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 blah. You could have reached out to me. You know how the storylines usually go. So,
Yep. Yep. I
so
like Kyle. I want to see him come back. I miss him in summer.
now the question is, I didn't hear anything about Hunter coming back though.
I didn't either.
So are they breaking up? She's staying in Milan? What?
I don't know. I mean, maybe is he on contract or is it just a few episodes?
That I'm not sure. I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
thought they said I thought I saw something said contract, but I'm not 100%. So I guess we'll have to see. Um, but yeah, I don't like how they transition her, but I am curious to see how this is going to unfold with her coming back to Genoa City. Everybody looking at her seeing a ghost.
Right.
Who is she going to connect with? Because nobody likes her, not even Jack. So
Nobody likes her. I mean, she
nobody.
has not one friend.
So I mean, is she going to connect with Adam? Is she going to connect with the people that don't really know her? Is probably like Chelsea and Chloe,
Sally.
Sally. Yeah, you know. So maybe she'll connect with, because other than that, she doesn't have a connection with anybody. So
Well, I mean, before her death, she was persona non grata. So I don't know how you come back from death and expect everybody to be all happy and give you a party.
exactly. So, yep, writers, you got your work cut out. I want to see how they do it.
Me too. I'm here for it.
Yep, me too. All right, let's move on to the other storyline, which is this whole thing with Ashland Locke and Victoria. So she finally admits to the truth, I guess, because it looked like she has a plan, but she won't tell anybody what it's about.
Does she even know what it is?
I
Does
don't,
she just know she has to get him away and try to figure something out?
because my thing is, if you know this is a dangerous man and he's been lying to you and he had, people tied up in prison and all this so kind of stuff, why would you go across the world with him by yourself?
Right.
And that's why it was funny how Victor said it. He said while Victoria is gallivanting around Tuscany with her
I cracked
husband.
up.
I mean, honestly, I hmm, if I was Adam, because I was like, Adam, if he decides to let this woman stay in this position after you were held to a different standard,
Hmm.
I would be so done and be like, you know what, Pops, I'm out. I'm doing my
I
own thing.
resign.
Yep. Because that's not fair. You went and took his whole company and sold it off to his
Right.
sister because it didn't even happen. It was just by
Yep.
chance that it
Yep.
could have happened, and your daughter who lied to you didn't tell you that she was also part of it, you know. I
Yep.
mean, yeah, so for her to be able to continue to run this company, and even after people was telling her, because Adam told him, Adam was like, look, how many times did y'all tell her? And she still allowed him to sign the contract to own half of the company. She actually let that happen after knowing that he was doing things in his past. And
Yeah. It's all on her. You can't blame anybody else.
yeah, that's what we were talking about last week, because all this is on her. So if she feeling some kind of way about the fact that I'm losing my job, look, you wouldn't accepted anything less if it was somebody else.
That's exactly right.
You know,
That's exactly right.
so
Excuse me.
yeah, no problem. So yeah, for her to act all shocked and surprised, I can do this. I can work from over there. No, no, no. You running off with Ashland. You don't want to tell us what's going on. Just trust me. Trust you with what? You can't go into a board meeting and tell the board of directors, just trust me. I
Just
know.
trust me. Right. I've got this.
Yeah, they're gonna want to know what's happening with their shares in the company. I'm surprised they didn't take it that route. They should have had a vote to make it look more legit.
I agree completely. Yeah, whenever he said that Adam was going to be CEO, I was like, well, what happened to the? If you were so worried about it, then why'd you actually care that she let him sign the document to be co-CEO? If you're just able to replace them that fast with Adam, why was signing that document so awful? I mean,
Hmm.
I'm not saying I think she should have had him sign it, but why were you worried about it as Victor Newman if you could just snap your fingers and replace her with Adam?
That is true because technically, even though he can pull Victoria out, Ashland still owns the other part of that company. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you pull Victoria out, he could say, you know what? I'm also co-owner. You can't just
Mm-hmm.
stick Adam in that position.
Right.
So let's play it a different way. Do you think that she did that to trigger a response from Victoria? So I'm going to tell you because she knew that he knew that that would bother Victoria
Yeah,
by
he did.
throwing Adam in that position. So maybe to get her to show her hand, maybe that's why he said, okay, you know what? I'm going to put Adam, your brother, in that position to get her to say, oh, no, 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 this is my plan. This is what I'm going to do.
Maybe so. I mean, he's very calculating. It's always a possibility.
Yeah.
But I
So,
think the main reason was what you had mentioned earlier with regard to the double standard.
yeah. I mean, it's only fair. You can't sit up there and apply that to Adam, and then when you do something worse, because he didn't even print the article.
Right.
You
Right.
just happen to find out that Billy admitted to it. Adam didn't do anything, whereas Victoria actually executed a contract going against her family wishes to say,
Mhm.
I'm making my husband co-CEO. Now what?
Yeah, she did.
Yep.
She did.
So, I mean, it is what it is.
It is. And I will say this one thing, it is really hard to sit back and watch the writers make such an intelligent woman stupid.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey,
We'll see. Hopefully, they redeem her with something amazing that she does to Ashland.
maybe, but she was horrible to people. I mean,
Hmm.
it's one thing if she was a very astute boss or CEO, and was really had empathy for people. She was
Hmm.
really, really nasty to people. Even Phyllis has nothing to do with anything with her. You show
Hmm.
up in her hotel and talk snide and throw remarks and things like that. It's like, don't walk around looking down your nose at everybody, thinking that everybody's beneath you and that nothing applies to you. I mean, yes, she might be intelligent, but she was extremely rude and disrespectful to people.
Very rude. Yeah, and she's always had that attitude when she's the one in charge. It's like the
Hmm.
power goes to her head.
It goes to her head, and unfortunately, even though, you know, the writers, have her very business savvy, you cannot walk through life treating people like crap.
No, you can't.
And that's exactly what she did. Mostly everybody that she spoke to, except for Ashland.
Yeah, that's actually true. Every scene she's been in, she's been nasty.
She's been nasty and rude. It was
Yeah.
always her trying to team up with Ashland, talking about how everybody is not understanding me and they're just horrible and we need to come up with a plan to undermine them and all this.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I kind of, I like seeing women do their thing, so I don't want to give no shade to women at all, but I also don't like disrespectful people.
No, not at all. And I mean, that to me, being a woman in business, we have to work triple overtime to be up for the opportunities, to lead by example and
Mm-hmm.
not be called certain things for the way that we do things whenever the opposite gender would be not called those things if they did them in a certain manner. And so I really would prefer to see them portray business women in a stronger manner, so to speak. Um, because there's still so much disparity out there, and I just really and I also, not just the businesswoman aspect of it, but I really like whenever they actually have real woman friendships
Mm-hmm.
portrayed on the show,
Mm-hmm.
like Phyllis and Amanda and Phyllis and Lauren, and even when Lauren was mad at Phyllis, they were still friends.
Mm-hmm.
I like strong woman bonded friendships like that being portrayed
Gotcha.
instead of that competition over the man, which is a lot of the storylines. And I get it; it's going to happen. But gosh, can we not recycle that one every time?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. You know, I just don't whether across the board, either male, female, you got to be held accountable. I'm
Absolutely.
sorry. You know, I get where you're coming from, but the way that they portrayed her, and I mean, people didn't like
Bad.
Adam either. Adam have a questionable
Mhm.
past and the stuff that he did, but it's I mean, and Victor and everybody else,
Mhm.
everybody got to be held accountable, you know.
Absolutely, I
So,
agree. And Adam and Victoria are more alike than they care to say.
oh yeah, Victor Adam Newman Jr. and Victoria Newman, they're their
Hmm.
namesakes.
Absolutely,
Yep, and because we were talking about that last week, even
we
with
did, because Nick is more like Nikki.
yeah, Nick, then
Hmm.
he's named after her.
Right. I love how they do these names on the shows.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So, it's pretty interesting, but I was really looking, and they mixed up the storylines this week because it looked like it had one day Jack, one day the Newmans, the next day Jack, and it was
Mhm.
like, I want the Newman storyline. Let's go back to that.
Right, right. I agree. I can't wait to see what they do when they get to Italy. Well, I mean, how are they going to? How is she going to behave with him? How is she going to spend a day with him?
I don't know. I don't know. I honestly want Sally and Adam to do their own thing separate away from that whole Newman drama.
I have like a dual. I have a split on that. I would love that, and I would also love for them to be like the power couple who winds up doing things that nobody else thought of doing, and
Mhm.
just outshining everybody because they're the underdogs.
They're the underdogs, absolutely, and they look so good together. The chemistry is
Hmm.
off the chain with those
Off the
2.
chain. Yep.
You
I
know,
agree.
and so to put them 2 together in a scenario where they build this big business,
Hmm.
she's COO, he's CEO, and they just blow the Newmans out the water. That would
Hmm.
be awesome. I don't
Yeah.
I honestly, even though as much as, like I said, the accountability of the behavior of Victoria, I really don't want Adam running Newman Enterprises. I don't. I want him away
Yeah.
from that. It make every time he gets caught up, get deeper and deeper in that, something always happen and it backfires.
Always toxic. Yeah.
Because then as much as he want to run the company, you still got Victor Newman breathing down your neck.
Absolutely right. You are so right.
You
And
know.
and again, he just showed he can, at a snap of a finger, change who the CEO is.
Now, did you see Nicholas's face? He was not happy about that.
I think he was shocked.
But he had a frown on his face. Like, really? Well, you're
Total
doing that?
disbelief. Seriously, we're going down this road again. Yeah.
But I mean, what did you and see that's the thing. What did you expect? Did you actually expect this girl to have such a huge breakup? This man just lied about having cancer.
Right.
And then she decides that she's going to forgo and not tell her family what her plans are, run across to Europe with this man. Don't tell them anything. What do
Mm.
you expect Victor to do? I was expecting him to actually take over. I really didn't expect it to give him to Adam.
I was actually expecting him to say, I'm going to take over as well.
Yeah. I did not expect the whole thing with, oh yeah, your brother is going to be in charge, and
Mm-mm.
yeah, mm-mm. So if I was, I don't know, I always wanted Adams when he ran Dark Horse.
Yep.
I was like, oh great, he finally have something on his own separate from the Newmans, and then of course he gets caught right back up in that web again.
He did. It was not, I mean, and it didn't take long either, did it?
No, mm-mm. Because Adam always wants Victor's acceptance. That's why.
Yeah. Acceptance and approval is what his whole MO is about, isn't it?
And it's like with a person like Victor Newman, they will keep moving the goalpost. So,
Oh, it's all his acceptance is situational at best.
yeah, you know what? That's the worst thing that you could do when you're
Mhm.
trying to be with someone that continue to move the goalpost. You will never meet their high standards.
No, because they're too unrealistic.
Yep, absolutely. So, let's see. So there was this other part. Nate is not budging. Ashland is still trying to tell him, "Oh, don't believe the rumors about me." And I'm like, Nate is like, "Would you stop? Just
Not even
stop."
having not even having it.
Yeah, Nate is not having it. He's like, "Look, how long you gonna keep carrying that story?"
Right? I mean, does he think he just fell off the turnip truck yesterday? Because he did not. He is a highly intelligent man. He's a doctor. He knows exactly what he saw and what he didn't see in those reports. So
Yeah, how are you gonna gaslight a doctor? You
I don't. I
gaslight a doctor over a medical condition.
uh, takes a lot of moxie.
Yeah, cause he's pretty much like, "No, it's a rumor. That ain't what," and that's what Nate was like, I know what I saw or I didn't
Yeah.
see." You know, I mean,
Come on.
come on, dude. And then, like you say, going back to the whole Abby thing, Abby came in smiling like, "Oh, we got a double date," and I'm like, "No, you don't."
No, you're definitely not going to have a double date.
Yeah, you're
That's
not gonna have a double date with this guy. Sorry.
yeah, not going to happen.
But I would be if I was Abby and nobody told me what was going on and I've been socializing with this guy. This guy been all in my restaurant.
Hmm.
I would be not happy about
I would
that.
be fairly annoyed.
But on the flip side, nobody has told them about this whole transplant, have they?
No, they haven't said a word.
So it's like there's a disconnect there. Abby hasn't said anything to her family about Dominic, and they haven't said anything to her about what's going on with Ashland. So,
Mm-mm.
but what did you call it? Because I said they're not part of the core family members. You call it
Oh,
something
they're
else.
on the front. They're fringe Newmans.
Fringe Newmans. Yeah, she's
Yeah,
a fringe Newman. They only involve her when it's absolutely necessary, and that's actually their sister.
yeah, that's right.
Seriously.
That's right. She
So,
is their sister, no question.
and then that's why Ashton was like, because that's why he was so shocked because he was like, "This is Victoria's sister, and she's acting like nothing's wrong. What's up with that?" Because she probably should be one of the ones who knows what's going on, and they didn't tell her.
Yeah, because she certainly wouldn't let him even be there if she knew.
Oh no, nope, 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 nope. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. Now Michael's back.
Yeah, it was good to see him back. I was glad to see him back, and the story he told was more believable and I think better than Ashland having him actually kidnapped and tied up somewhere.
Yeah. And how he was able to finesse his way out of the jail by helping one of the guards get his house back or something.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I think that's what they said. But Michael's helped people finagle out all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep. but it was good to see him back. But see, this
Yep.
is where a missed opportunity could have happened for the writers. So Michael and I think it was who else was he with? His wife was all at society.
Uh-huh.
At the same time, back at Newman, Victoria told Ashland to go to society and pick up food for the trip.
I was so hoping they were going to cross paths.
Oh my gosh. I was like, oh, this is about to be
It's going to
good
be
because,
good.
right, because he told whoever his contacts is down in Peru is Michael got to be found and stopped, not knowing that Michael's already back home in Genoa City.
Right.
And I would have loved to see Ashland's face if we, and it's probably going to happen maybe next week or something, but I would
Mhm.
love to see that if he walked in society and saw Michael sitting there with his wife. There's
Yeah.
nothing you could do.
No. Where are you going to go?
Yeah, you can't attack the man and tell him, what are you doing here? You're lying on me. He could have probably made a big scene, but Lauren and Kevin already know what's going on. So
Right. Yeah, but it would have been fun to watch those explosions happen.
I know that's why I'm like, dang, missed opportunity, writers. That would have been great.
Yeah, it would have.
Okay, anything else? Also, I did not like that they did not fill Adam in on everything that was going on. Cause him and Lord, the girl Sally, him and Sally was in the dark for a while up until the last minute.
Yeah, they were. I
That's
was
that.
surprised Victor let her stay in the room.
Yeah, cause that look he had on his face when Adam said, "I told her everything," he was not happy about that.
No, he absolutely was not happy.
And he was like, "This is family issues." And Adam was like, what's happening in this family affects our business." So
You
yeah.
can't argue there.
Nope. I was like, check and mate.
Yeah, right. Oh, Victor's thinking maybe I taught him too well.
I mean, that's the thing. They like to keep people out. They like to keep folks out of the loop, except if you are part of that core family. And
Yeah.
even at one point, they tried to keep Nicholas out of some stuff back early on with this whole Ashland situation.
Yeah, they did. They sure did. Then asked him to investigate and then told him, how could you investigate?
Exactly. I was
I
like,
don't know what that was all about.
yeah, you tell this man to go all the way to New Jersey to figure out what's going on with Ashland. He goes, he finds it, and then you tell him why you do it. Because you told
Right.
him to. Yeah, that was crazy. Did we cover everything with that storyline? I'm trying to think
I
if
think
there's
we did.
okay, cool. Well, we might as well move on because that's it for this particular week. It was a pretty good week, though, I gotta say.
I thought so too.
All right, let's move on to the bold and the beautiful for the week of March the 28th through April 1st. So let me get my summary. Okay. Oops. Okay, so um Thursday, Tuesday, Monday. Steffi delivers a stern warning to Sheila. Steffi discovered what Thomas and Sheila had been hiding. Um, oh geez. Okay, and then it has what else is on here? What the heck? Wait, hold on. I lost my
Okay.
place on my summary. I'm like, what happened? Where'd it go? Okay, let's start over. All right, bold. Okay, here we go. All right, Steffi delivers a stern warning to Sheila. And then Steffi discovers what Thomas and Sheila has been hiding. Steffi confronts Sheila with the truth. Steffi and Sheila's face off takes a violent turn. And then, due to the conversation, Lord, Finn gets shot. We only had one storyline this week. There was no Paris, no Carter.
Mm-mm.
It was all
Yeah.
about this whole Sheila thing.
Yep.
So, kind of like what we were saying earlier, why in the world does Sheila feels that delivering a man to be, well, Ridge in this case, is helping out the family and what they want, just to stick it to Brooke, and also by sticking it to Brooke, you actually took her off her sobriety. That whole thing is so crazy to me.
Yeah, it's, you know, when she switched the labels, I was thinking, okay, Brooke's gonna taste it, she's gonna realize, and then there's gonna be like the whole figure out how this happened. But obviously, that's not the direction it went.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're at a point where Finn is possibly dead.
Mm-hmm.
Steffi is being held at gunpoint in her face.
Mm-hmm.
Brooke is home devastated, thinking that she fell off the wagon and doesn't know why. Taylor is blissfully ignorant, talking with Ridge, who is also ignorant but not blissful. And Thomas is still keeping the secret, not knowing that his family is in the alley with the insane person.
And all this started because people don't know how to close their doors and lock them.
Exactly.
Because the only reason Steffi found that out is because of Thomas being in the office with the door open.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one ongoing thing that I don't know if you checked out our previous older podcast shows, but one of the biggest things that we always talk about is people not locking their doors or closing the doors.
Yeah, yeah.
People can, one thing about Bold and Beautiful, rest assured, you can walk into somebody's house without knocking.
No announcement, no knock, no invitation.
You can walk into Steffi's house, Brooke's house, Ridge's house. Well, I mean, Eric's house. You can walk into these people's houses without knocking. And then at the office, when you're talking about secrets, secrets that could destroy lives, you're talking in an office with a door cracked.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I know. It's so annoying.
Yeah, and it's like, if you're going to talk to Sheila Carter, you need to leave the building.
Exactly. Don't do it on the phone.
Don't do it on the phone in the CEO office where your sister and your grandfather works and your father.
Exactly.
Um,
And where Hope could come in, or Brooke could come in, or Katie, or Donna,
or you, exactly, anybody could walk in there. And okay, so let's kind of, because there's some moving parts to this whole thing. So we also have the other piece where it seems that Brooke is like feeling that there's some, I have this feeling that there is an outside force that's trying to undermine me. And I'm like, writers, really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you could feel you, I could understand what Brooks saying. You know what? This couldn't have been me. I haven't fell off the wagon in years. After all these times, why did I fall off the wagon? I get that, but her having this uh enigma that there's outside forces working against me. You sound like a crazy person.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Like, I can feel it.
Yeah, and she keeps saying that, and it's like, okay, writers, we get it. You want her to kind of draw in the energy from the universe to bring Sheila as the acknowledgement to, yeah, okay, I get it. But yeah, I just find that pretty interesting that they're going that route. And Liam is just, oh my God, he's the third Logan. I'm sorry. He's a he's a Logan.
Oh my God, you are so right.
He just go along and to get along. It's like, do you have anything of your own thoughts to add?
No,
Nope.
I don't think he does.
Nope.
He's
'Cause-
been manipulated since he came on the show.
yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, he's just there. You know, Like you call him a waffler.
Yeah.
Exactly. I
I
mean,
can't remember where I first saw that. It was on one of the posts on one of the Facebook posts years ago. This Waffler Liam. I was like, oh my God, that is so perfect. Whoever said that hit that right on the head.
yeah, because he was bouncing back and forth between Steffi
Mm-hmm.
and Hope. And so it's like, okay, wherever way the wind blows, that's where he goes.
Right, right.
But
And now with what happened today, it's like, are we going to wind up back in that trio again if Finn is not with us anymore?
oh God, I hope not. We spent the better of anywhere from 8 to 10 years going
We
back and
have.
forth with those two.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time for a storyline to keep reverting back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Right.
My thing is stop making it about Ridge and stop making it about Liam because you had Taylor and Brooke fighting over Ridge for a long time. We got a
Mm-hmm.
break from that, and then their next generation of kids were fighting over Liam, and it's like, you got
And
other characters? Where's Bill? Where's Wyatt? Where's Shauna?
right. And this makes me wonder too, like if Finn is gone, are they going to go forward with Bill and Steffi?
That's interesting. I would be
Because
here. I
even
would be
with
here
the
for
age
that.
difference, they have a spark.
I would be here for that.
I would too. Because I
They
thought they were going to be the power couple for a while.
Yeah, but I honestly think this has something because she's due this month, I think.
Uh huh. Yeah.
And so I have a feeling this got something to do with her and maternity leave.
Yeah. I agree.
Jacqueline, I don't even know because she this is her third child. So I don't even remember the first two kids even being a part of the storyline, were they? No.
No.
Mm-mm. And so a lot of people were wondering because they just had sex, remember?
Right.
So a lot of folks was wondering if in fact maybe they were going to have this pregnancy as part of the storyline, but I don't know. I mean, it could be maybe if Finn does not, it looked like he's gone though.
It didn't look good, did it?
Well, the way they did it is he was out
And it,
and then
yep,
he
came
came
back and said
to.
goodbye. Yep.
He knew, but as a doctor, he had to
Hmm.
know what was happening to him
Right.
because he was like, he was mumbling all these words. Tell my kids I love them. I love you. I always love you. Just make sure you tell, the
Tell him.
baby that I care about him and I always love him. And then he just slowly phased out.
Right.
And I was looking online to see if Tanner Novlin was no longer on the show. I didn't see anything yet, but usually those particular cast members, they'll release it on their Instagram. How I appreciate the many years I've been on the show and I appreciate all the love. I haven't seen any of that. So
I haven't either. But they didn't. They kept it really quiet when Allie was killed too.
yeah, but she didn't make it though.
No, she didn't. But she wrote after after we found out the character died. She wrote that she had to keep it a secret. Blah blah blah. So we didn't have any hint that that was going to happen. That she was going to die.
Yeah, I
So
don't
maybe
know.
this is that way too. I hope not, because I really like Finn.
Yeah, but if Tanner Novlin has a different project going on, because he's a great actress and
He
he's
is.
handsome.
Yes, he is.
So I could see him picking up projects maybe in the movie spectrum or something. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I do definitely.
So maybe because remember before this he was Liberty Bibberty.
And
So
Liberty Giver, yeah.
yeah, on Liberty Mutual commercials. So I mean he went from that, and from what I understand, he's been on soaps before, but I mean, I think maybe he took a hiatus or something, and then he got that commercial, and then next thing you know, he was on the show.
Right. Yeah, we were when he first showed up on the program. I was like, wait, that's that's Liberty Bibberty.
Exactly, exactly.
So I
Because
was happy for him.
I was like, that dude looked familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Where have I seen him before? And sure enough, that's what it was.
Yep.
So maybe it opened him up just this little stint,
I
open
hope
him
so.
up to other projects if he is being killed off the show.
Yeah, yeah.
But that was so, and then they changed the music in the background, and it was like, oh my God, this is just TV. Keep your
It
head
was
together.
ominous.
Oh, that music was so sad when he was on his way out, though.
Yes, it was.
But let's talk about that because we'll get back to this other part with, you know, well, you know what? Let's lead up to that because, all right, Steffi finds out about it because of Thomas talking. She goes and visits Sheila. Sheila tried to play coy, and then Sheila was like, "All right, fine." And it led to, because I thought when she was looking at stuff in the alley, I thought
Hmm.
maybe she was gonna push Steffi into something, or
I did too.
but I was like, no, they can't do that. That girl is pregnant.
Yeah, right. They would definitely have to have a stand-in for that.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't think they're gonna do that because here's the thing: even if they had a stand-in, people would have still got upset at that scene. So,
You are so right.
so
Yes,
I
they
don't.
really would have.
Yeah, because sometimes people don't know, and they were like, "Oh my God, they didn't do that to Jacqueline. The girl is pregnant. How could they do?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think they decided against that. But I thought for sure that she was going to be pushing her into something, or actually, I thought that she was going to pull a Deacon, like when Deacon was fighting Ridge, and he
Uh-huh.
heard Brooke coming, and then he pretended like he was the victim. I thought maybe Sheila would have did that, and that Steffi was, set her up to look like, she did something to her. But yeah, I did not expect that girl turn around, pulled a gun out of her purse.
That was a big gun.
It was a silencer.
I saw that. David, my husband, was watching it with me, and he said, "Oh my God, she even has a silencer on the gun." And the woman is out on parole. She's not even supposed to have a firearm.
Right. Your husband watched soaps?
Oh, he been watching with me. We've been married for almost 32 years.
Oh, awesome. I bet that's nice to
Yeah.
have a guy to watch the soaps with you.
Oh yeah, yeah. We watch B and Y&R together. It's our favorite shows. We have all kinds of fun, and we'll look at the screen and go, "No, come on, what did you do that for?" And then we'll go, "Oh yeah, go." If one of our favorite characters is getting their way, and yeah, we have a lot of fun with it. He's fantastic.
Oh, that's
So he watches
cool.
soaps with me. I watch some of the stuff he wants to watch with him. So yeah, it's good. It's good.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Um, yeah, so here's my thing, and I'm gonna go ahead and get into my rant.
Rant away. I'm here for it.
The whole thing about this particular storyline is when you're dealing with the monster, you don't poke the monster.
Thank you. Yes, that is absolutely right. We were both saying today, why is she alone in the alley with Sheila?
Well, I mean, even starting way back when Sheila came into existence with Finn being uh his mother. And
Hmm.
this is one thing that Keisha and I talked about on previous podcasts at the end of 2021 is that Steffi, as much as I get it, you're not happy about what has happened. You, just like I said about Kyle,
Hmm.
you have to allow Finn to explore that away from you. I'm not saying bring the baby into Hayes into this,
Right.
but you gotta let Finn figure that out. And one of the things that Steffi said in this episode, like, you'll never see him. I'm in control. Okay, I get it. You want to make sure you control the situation with your son, but at the same time, to keep this thing under control, you gotta let Finn explore this. And if he chooses to get to know his mom, or he chooses to say no, you haven't changed, at least it's his decision. It's his mother. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of this probably could have been avoided. I actually think that Taylor had the right idea by saying, we'll allow the space, but we're going to put it in a controlled environment.
Well, and at least then you know where the monster is and what the monster's doing.
Exactly. Exactly. And at the same time, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of when it comes to kids and parents. I know some people are guilty of this thing where they try to e- exclude children. Now, I can see in situations of abuse and things like that, but just stand in the way of not being able to get to know their biological parent, especially if they want to get to know. And there's a part of Finn who wants to get to know this person,
Yeah, I believe he did too.
and that's why Steffi told her he don't want to try to get to know you anymore.
Right.
Which that told Sheila, oh, you're actually the one purposely standing in the way because my son do want to explore who I am and me being his mom. I honestly think that and I know this is drama and whatnot, but this whole thing with him getting shot and all this upheaval with Brooke, if Brooke and Steffi allowed Finn, who's a grown physician, to
Mm-hmm.
figure out the relationship with his mother,
Mm-hmm.
this probably wouldn't be the issue right now.
Right. None of this would have happened.
Because as much as I can maybe understand Steffi over Brooke saying you would never be in my family. You don't care about that family. You don't even want Ridge over there.
Exactly.
So
Why
for
are you
her,
speaking up?
yeah, so for her to say that, she used that as a way to purposely know that it was going to trigger something
Mm-hmm.
in Sheila. Don't poke the bear. You dealing with,
Right.
she got a history. She's psychopathic, as you call her. Don't poke the psychopath.
Right. That's exactly right. I mean, it's like it's playing with fire. You're gonna get burned.
You're going to get burned. And anytime, and for people in this case, both Steffi and Brooke thought that they were going to be so strong enough to make Sheila just cower down. No, it makes them more angrier.
Hmm. Yeah, it definitely does. It's like a caged raccoon.
Exactly. But Steffi was bent on trying to, you're never going to be in Finn's life. Okay, I can get your son, but that's not your call.
Hmm. Right.
He got to figure that out. Now the boy got a bullet in his stomach.
Exactly. Pierced the lung, I'm sure.
And granted, Sheila did horrible things. You don't switch alcohol.
Mm-mm.
You don't pull a gun on somebody. You don't manipulate people. Because I'm not saying, because he would have figured that out.
Right, I agree.
But let him do it on his own and tell her, because I think it would come better from him
Hmm.
than it would come from Steffi or Brooke.
Right.
If Finn says, "Look, you hurt me. Look what you've done. I
Hmm.
can't have you anywhere near me. I gave you a chance, and this is what you do. Stay away from me." Then what can she do with that? She's not going to shoot her son on purpose.
Not on purpose. And what's she gonna say to him now? Well, I meant to shoot your wife, who you love.
Yeah, because that's the
Whoopsie.
thing. Yeah, if he actually isn't dead and he's in some form of coma or whatever, when he comes out of this, if he's still on the show, how are you going to explain that?
Right.
There's no way. And see, that's what I'm wondering with the writers, with Sheila Carter. What do you do now?
Kidnap
So,
the grandbaby.
well, yeah, or she has to leave the show because there is no way Steffi is not going to tell her family what happened, especially with Finn being dead. How are you going to explain that?
Right.
Or in the hospital, shot.
Right.
So is Sheila going to run off and hide and she's gone and now we go into a whole new storyline with something else? I don't know. So cuz her right now she's written into a corner.
She definitely is.
So, yeah, cuz there's no way out of this. She's going to be ostracized after this.
Mhm. Right. How do you shoot your own son? And
Yeah.
then try to explain that you meant for it to be your daughter-in-law.
Now the only other thing that could happen, I don't know, and I don't think, and I mean the writers could be that distorted, but with Steffi have to go on maternity leave, or Jacqueline, I should say, have to go on maternity leave, could she leave town? And they make up a story like her and Fran, maybe Finn isn't dead and he's just
Mhm.
need physical help, and they just go away for a while.
Yeah,
I don't know, because how else would you keep Sheila Carter on on the screen without her being in jail right now?
exactly. I don't know. That's a
Yeah.
great question.
So
On the lam or in behind the jail cell.
one of the two, either she's going to go on the run, or she's going to end up in jail. And then at that point, it's like, how do you redeem this character? Give her a brain tumor or something like you did Thomas? I
Hmm.
don't know.
Right, right. And didn't Steffi already have brain injury of some sort a couple of times?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm interested to see what's good. You talking about a cliffhanger? This
Right,
was a
big
cliffhanger.
time. Absolutely a cliffhanger.
Yeah, because now he's dead, or so we think, and Steffi has a gun in her face. That's where they left us today.
Not a good spot.
Nope.
And I can't wait for Monday.
And did you hear right before that happened? You hear Ridge and Taylor talking about, oh, I'm so proud of her. I wonder what her life is going to be like. She's doing so many great things. So they really were like leading up to something, like they're really talking about her life and how it's going and how great everything is. And then boom, we got a bullet in the stomach and we got a gun in the face. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to next week.
I am. I am. I will say this though, Taylor is backpedaling because she's like, we don't know what's going to happen. And if you're not going to be with me, I'm okay because I understand. And then we had Brooke come in telling Ridge, look, we're still married. So
Yeah,
you ain't going nowhere. You need to come home.
right. And I do, that's so funny. I do wonder, is Taylor downplaying it because she doesn't want to get hurt or because she knows of the inevitable, which is that Ridge always goes back to Brooke? Or is she trying to be coy? Which, I mean, he already knows how she feels. So
Hmm.
being coy is kind of silly at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but here's my other issue with this whole thing with the booze and Deacon is that even though she'd had booze, that still doesn't justify
Mm-mm.
you kissing this man.
No, it doesn't. No, it does not, because many a person has had more booze than that and managed to keep their lips away from someone else's.
Uh, Listen, in my 30s, I didn't get super drunk, but I got tipsy. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
so that I didn't go around kissing people that I didn't want to kiss, right?
Nope, I
So
get it.
so they're trying to put a spotlight on this, with especially when Steffi found out about all of this. They're trying to put a spotlight on this. They're like, oh my God, if she never was drinking, she never would have did what she did. There's still a part of her that obviously had a connection, because it was going to happen sooner or later.
I agree.
The
Because
second. Mhm.
the song that comes to mind whenever I think about like what she did with Bill and what she did with Deacon is that song that goes, if you can't be with the one you love the one you're with.
Yeah. Pretty much. Pretty much. And the other thing is, she was sober. Because, I mean, okay, he slept in the bed. All right.
Hmm.
She was drunk the night before, or whatever. But she was sober when she stuck up for Deacon during that fight.
She ran right to him and got down on her knees to check on him
Yep.
in front of Ridge.
Yep.
That was pretty heinous.
Exactly. You can't blame that on the booze.
No, you can't.
So,
And and two, continuing to allow him to just show up at the house
yeah.
before the
Yeah.
drinking.
Before all of that happened, I
Hmm.
mean, because if Hope wanted to see her father, he could have went straight to the cabin. He didn't have to come through the main house.
He didn't need to go to the property at all. She could have gone to him.
Exactly. There's ways that that could have been handled. Now, I will say, Hope was digging in her heels because she was also fighting Ridge as well on this.
Yep.
So both of them, she have, because I mean, honestly, why you talking about a touchy situation where this guy has now come back? You were part of an affair or
Yep.
whatever with your daughter, and they brought Bridget back. We
And
saw
now
Bridget.
Bridget's here. I am so here for this, and I hope it's not some love fest. I don't know if Bridget knows about the kiss yet with Deacon, but she did ask her how she was doing. So when we find out what Bridget knows, I if she didn't know about Deacon and now she finds out about Deacon, I really want her to snap.
Who?
Bridget.
Bridget. Well, here's the thing. What if they bring her, being that she's back? What if Deacon now finds interest in her?
Yeah, I don't know how you could ever look at him as Bridget and think anything good.
Well, you know how
You
how
know
the
how it,
writers are.
yeah.
If they can bring
Dang.
Diane Jenkins back,
Yep.
they can reignite a romance.
Honestly, you're so. Next, they'll bring Oliver back to take Hope away from Liam.
Oh my gosh.
How do you not know that Brooke is not your tiny girlfriend?
Yeah.
And how do you not know as a woman that this lanky kid
It's not your husband.
is not your right? Mask or no, you
Mm.
should know.
You should. Oh yeah, you should know. Just like they were saying about Phyllis and Marco Anicelli.
And they looked identical.
But your body is different. Your
So
connection is
your
different.
responses, everything is different.
It's different. So she claimed, well, I thought he was, and he was edgy and he was fun. So what you saying, Jack was boring?
Kinda.
Oh my god, that whole thing was crazy. I'm not gonna
It was
even.
crazy. Oh, that
Yeah.
was an infuriating storyline.
Yeah, I'm not gonna uproot that one.
Uh-uh.
But yeah, so I honestly don't want, because they're trying to write this in a direction where she's going to get off scot free because it's all about what Sheila did with the alcohol. No,
Yeah,
you got
she's the
some.
only victim.
Yeah, like I said earlier about Victoria, you got some accountability, sweetheart.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, you kissed that. I mean, that's the thing. And Deacon wasn't even drunk. You were
Mm-mm.
begging this man to drink with you.
Right.
You were begging him to drink with you, and then you told him to start talking about your feelings, and y'all start talking about your feelings, and then y'all kissed each other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because yeah, every random person don't go around drunk kissing folks.
No. No. Contain yourself.
Contain yourself, absolutely. So it was a good week. I'm looking forward to next week, which is the week of, I think that's April 4th, first, second, third. Yeah, April 4th. Um, I'm looking forward to this cliffhanger on Bold and Beautiful.
Me too.
I want to know what Victoria is going to do with Ashland and whether, you know, Victor was actually bluffing about putting Adam in charge. So we'll have to see.
We will. I can't wait to see what Victoria's plan is for Ashland.
Yeah, me too. All right, you guys. So we still have one more segment, and that's our flip the script segment. If there's a particular storyline or a scene that you wish you could change, this is where we flip the script. So what you got for this week?
I think on Y&R, it when with bringing Diane back,
Mm-hmm.
I really kind of wish Phyllis would have been there with Jack
Mm-hmm.
for the whole thing to blow up from the get-go with
Okay.
Diane coming back,
Mm-hmm.
because their relationship was so explosive. But I did see in the previews that Phyllis is going to be coming through the door next week. So
Yeah, I
that
saw
I
that.
can't wait to see that.
Right. I definitely saw that.
And then on the Bold and the Beautiful, I think I would like to flip the script where maybe Taylor has a love interest that she left behind who shows up, just so that she doesn't just automatically default to Ridge and make him work for it if he is actually done with Brooke, which I
Okay.
don't think he is.
Okay. That makes sense.
What do you think?
Um, I honestly, even when he broke up with Brooke in the first place, I would have preferred for him to just be alone.
Mm-hmm.
He shouldn't have never got involved, period. Kind of sort out his feelings, make sure that he was clear to make a decision, because in the heat of emotion, all he did was got mad at Brooke and went over there and started slobbering all over Taylor.
He's such a dog. DAWG dog.
Such a dog. He's more, I don't know who's worse, him or Liam, with the waffling and the going back and forth.
It seems to be a pattern at this point.
Yep, very much so. Okay, so my flip the script for The Young and the Restless would have been the whole thing with Victoria, and that whole scene with Victoria, Nikki, Adam, and Victor, when the family was asking her where she was going.
Mm-hmm.
Just tell them what you're doing. It's,
Right.
I mean, why does it
Please.
have to, if you know that you have a plan, you don't have to tell the board of directors, even though you should, but you don't have to tell the board of directors in this case because it's a soap. At least tell mom and dad what you're doing. You're about to go across the world with this guy who clearly lied about having cancer and everything else he's done in his past. But you don't just
Mm-hmm.
trust me. No, I don't trust you. You gave away
Can't do
half of the
it.
company.
Right. Can't do it.
Sorry. So just tell them, just let them know, like, hey, I'm gonna take this man over here, and I don't know, I'm just gonna lock him on the keys and chains, and I'm gonna leave. I'm
I mean,
just making up something.
lock him in the same room where Gaines was.
Right, exactly. I'm gonna keep him where Gain is, and it'd be like he never existed. I don't know.
Right. Well, in
Um,
reality, he doesn't exist because there really isn't an Ashland Locke anymore because he died.
exactly, exactly. So you are absolutely correct. My Bold and the Beautiful was, I did not like, once Sheila showed by grabbing her jacket, grabbing
Yes.
her shirt, and telling her, and then she backed off and said, nope, I'm not going to do it. That was Steffi's cue to get the French toast out of there.
Absolutely agree.
You don't come back in her face talking about what you control.
Right. Right.
That was your cue. She let you go. She took a step back from you. Get out of, hightail it out of there. Call your husband. Hey, where are you? I'm on my way to Giardino. Don't come up here. I need you to meet me at the house. Your mom is
Yes.
crazy.
Absolutely. Yes. 100% would have loved to see that.
Yeah, but you don't, if you see I mean, you could tell the psychology in Sheila's eyes. Thank God. I got to give it to Kimberly Brown. She's excellent at this.
Honestly, I was just really so absolutely against and annoyed at the fact that Sheila Carter was once again, like a bad penny, turning up. But I gotta tell you, she's done an amazing job.
Kimberly Brown, sometimes you got to wonder, are you psychotic
Are
in
you
real
really? Well,
life?
honestly, yes.
Because the way
You gotta
she,
wonder.
yeah, the way she acts that out, and that terror that she tried to put in Steffi when she grabbed her and talked her in the face, and
Mhm.
and yeah, when somebody show you that side of darkness, you need, the moment that you can get free,
You need to get,
leave.
absolutely agree.
You don't get back in the monster's face and say, I control this. No, 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 you
Right.
don't. No, you
You're
don't.
exactly right. I mean, did she lose the fear gene or what? I don't know, but yes, I get out.
Get out. So that if I had to change that scene, the moment that uh Sheila let her go and backed up, that's when she should have grabbed her purse and got out of there.
I agree.
And then she could tell her father, tell her mom, tell her brother, tell Finn, tell Liam, for God's sake. You know, I mean,
Right.
that's your baby's dad. So I mean, he would definitely have interest in that. Tell Brooke, somebody. But just to go toe to toe with her after all that, you making the situation worse.
Yeah, definitely stoked the fire.
Because Steffi's ego got in the way.
Yeah, it
So
did.
yeah, so that's my flip the script for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We had a great time tonight because we had a lot to unpack with both of the shows. Yes, definitely. You said it absolutely correct. Looking forward to next week, and until then, we will see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.
Why is it that you won't apologise to Dom for the photo? I'm not sorry.
Sunday, the reunion dinner party.
Why is it that you won't apologise to Dom for the photo? I'm not sorry. Oh my God.
You're fake, mate.
I'm fake. Where'd you get those things? Barley for $2.
Monday, the bigger the lie.
Why don't we take a look back to find out what happened?
The harder
This is like my nightmare coming true.
they fall.
I'm sorry. That is.
The reunion.
I don't want to listen to it anymore.
Oh no.
Tonight finale.
Do you have any regrets?
Of course I do. Of course I do.
Starts Sunday at 7 on 9.
Oh, Louisville is out.